Welcome to Unit 2. This is a review of the fundamental ICS principles learned in the previous courses, as well as a review of the basic ICS organizational and staffing concepts. We will break Unit 2 into the following sections, each with their own video. First, history and features, which you're watching now. Next, the mandates and command principles. Third, incident management roles and communications principles. And finally, organizational structure. The objectives for this entire unit will include: describe how ICS fits into the command and management component of the National Incident Management System. Describe ICS reporting and working relationships for technical specialists and agency representatives. Describe reporting relationships and information flow within the organization. Match responsibility statements to each ICS organizational element. List the ICS positions that may include deputies and describe deputy roles and responsibilities. As well as describe differences between deputies and assistants. Describe how incidents can be best managed by appropriate and early designation of primary staff members and by delegating authority to the lowest practical level. Listing the minimum staffing requirements within each organizational element. And finally, describe the importance of establishing proper span of control. For this section of Unit 2, we'll look at the history and features of ICS. ICS was developed in the 1970s following a series of catastrophic fires in California's urban interface. Property damage ran into the millions, and many people died or were injured. The personnel assigned to determine the cause of these outcomes studied the case histories and discovered that response problems could rarely be attributed to lack of resources or failure of tactics. Surprisingly, studies found that response problems were far more likely to result from inadequate management than from any other single reason. The Incident Command System is a standard management tool for meeting the demands of small or large emergency or non-emergency situations. It also represents the best practices and has become the standard for emergency management across the country. It also may be used for planned events, natural disasters, or in response to acts of terrorism. And finally, it is a key feature of the National Incident Management System, or NIMS. As stated in NIMS, the ICS is a management system designed to enable effective and efficient domestic incident management by integrating a combination of facilities, equipment, personnel, procedures, and communications operating within a common organizational structure, designed to enable effective and efficient domestic incident management. A basic premise of ICS is that it is widely applicable. It is used to organize both near-term and long-term field-level operations for a broad spectrum of emergencies, from small to complex incidents, both natural and man-made. ICS is used by all levels of government, federal, state, local, and tribal, as well as by many private sector and non-governmental organizations. ICS is also applicable across disciplines. It is normally structured to facilitate activities in 5 major functional areas. These include command, operations, planning, logistics, as well as finance and administration. Next, we will review the 14 essential features of ICS. The first 7 are common terminology. Using common terminology helps to define organizational functions, incident facilities, resource descriptions, and position titles. Modular organizations allow the incident command organizational structure to develop in a modular fashion that is based on the size and complexity of the incident, as well as the specifics of the hazard environment created by the incident. Management by objectives includes establishing overarching objectives, developing strategies based on incident objectives, developing and issuing assignments, plans, procedures, and protocols, establishing specific, measurable objectives for various incident management functional activities and describing efforts to attain them in support of defined strategies, and documenting results to measure performance and facilitate corrective action. Incident action plans provide a coherent means of communicating the overall incident objectives in the context of both operational and support activities. Manageable span of control is key to effective and efficient incident management. Within ICS, the span of control of any individual with incident management supervisory responsibility should range from 3 to 7 subordinates. Incident locations and facilities deals with the various types of operational support facilities that are established in the vicinity of an incident to accomplish a variety of purposes. Typical designated facilities include the incident command post, bases, camps, staging areas, mass casualty triage areas, and others as required. Comprehensive resource management means maintaining an accurate and up-to-date picture of resource utilization, which is a critical component of incident management. Resources are defined as personnel, teams, equipment, supplies, and facilities available or potentially available for assignment or allocation in support of incident management and emergency response activities. The next 6 features include integrated communications, which mean incident communications are facilitated through the development and use of common communications plans and interoperable communications processes and architectures. Establishment and transfer of command is important because the command function must be clearly established from the beginning of an incident. When command is transferred, the process must include a briefing that captures all essential information for continuing safe and effective operations. Chain of command refers to the orderly line of authority within the ranks of the incident management organization. Unity of command means that every individual has a designated supervisor to whom he or she reports at the scene of the incident. These principles clarify reporting relationships and eliminate the confusion caused by multiple conflicting directives. Incident managers at all levels must be able to control the actions of all personnel under their supervision. In incidents involving multiple jurisdictions, a single jurisdiction with multi-agency involvement, or multiple jurisdictions with multi-agency involvement, the concept of unified command allows agencies with different legal, geographic, and functional authorities and responsibilities to work together effectively without affecting individual agency authority, responsibility, or accountability. Dispatch and deployment deals with personnel and equipment only responding when requested or when dispatched by an appropriate authority. Information and intelligence management means the incident management organization must establish a process for gathering, analyzing, sharing, and managing incident-related information and intelligence. The final feature we will highlight is accountability. Effective accountability at all jurisdictional levels and within individual functional areas during incident operations is critical. To that end, the following principles must be adhered to. Check-in. All responders, regardless of agency affiliation, must report in to receive an assignment in accordance with the procedures established by the incident commander. Incident action plan. Response operations must be directed and coordinated as outlined in the IAP. Unity of command. Each individual involved in an incident will be assigned to only one supervisor. Personal responsibility. All responders are expected to use good judgment and be accountable for their actions. Span of control. Supervisors must be able to adequately supervise and control their subordinates, as well as communicate with and manage all resources under their supervision. And finally, resource tracking. Supervisors must record and report resource status changes as they occur.